Welcome to Mr. Beebop. Mysterious, elusive, appearing suddenly in a flask of lights and colors. Mr. Quin is a friend of lovers and is always associated with death. He assists Mr. Satterthwaite with various mysteries, gently guiding him towards solution with an almost supernatural instinct. In all the stories, Harley Quin helps his old friend, Mr. Satterthwaite, to solve crimes through carefully worded but apparently random observations and questions that provide insight into a problem. Mr. Harley Quin is there to act as a catalyst, to reveal to Mr. Satterthwaite what he already knows. As Satterthwaite would come to expect, Harley Quin often appears in the nick of time, and whenever he appears, Satterthwaite knows there's some impending problem, although what the problem is not always apparent at first. Mr. Satterthwaite is always happy to encounter his elusive friend because it is on those few occasions that he ceases to be an observer and becomes an actor in the theater of life. Who or what Harley Quin is continues to be a mystery. Even Satterthwaite would admit that despite having known him for a long time, he doesn't really know him. Harley Quin appears and disappears unexpectedly and by strange tricks of light and reflections, making his clothes seem brightly multicolored. In the various stories, several impressions are given to the reader through Satterthwaite's almost subconscious thoughts of the connection between the appearance of Quin and the traditional costume of Harley Quin, the latter being a dark mask and clothing composed of multicolored diamond shapes. This aspect of Harley Quin is based upon Harley Quin from the 16th century Italian Commedia dell'arte. The earlier versions of the character were that of a clown or fool, although in the 18th century, the character changed to become a romantic hero. It is in this guise that he more closely approximates Christie's character of Quin, who in most of the stories helps unravel emotional entanglements in addition to solving the crimes and mysteries. Mr. Satterthwaite, whose Christian name is unknown, is a dried-up elderly little man who has never known romance or adventure himself. His only real romance ended abruptly when the lady confessed to him her passion for another man. He is a bit of a snob, a connoisseur of the arts, and sentimental to the last degree with a special weakness for young lovers. He is a looker-on at life, but he feels an increasing desire to play a part in the drama of other people. He is especially drawn to mysteries of unsolved crime. And here he has a helper, the mysterious Mr. Quin, the man who appears from nowhere, who comes and goes like the invisible Harley Quin of old. Mr. Satterthwaite first meets Mr. Quin on New Year's Eve in the 1930 short story collection, The Mysterious Mr. Quin, and both gentlemen are immediately intrigued. Mr. Satterthwaite has also worked with the eminent Hercule Poirot. In three-act tragedy, he is a guest at Sir Charles Cartwright's house party, where another guest dies suddenly. When another man dies in similar circumstances, Mr. Satterthwaite helps Sir Charles and Poirot investigate. With his supernatural foresight, Quin leads Satterthwaite as he untangles dramas, love affairs, and occasionally murders. As we move through the series of short stories, Mr. Quin's physical form becomes more and more unclear, until the reader questions whether he exists independently of Satterthwaite or is in fact a representation of a hidden part of Satterthwaite's personality. There are strong hints that he is a spirit rather than human. In one story, The Bird with a Broken Wing, Mr. Quin contacts Mr. Satterthwaite by Ouija board, which doesn't seem to surprise the latter at all. Harley Quin is a character who appears in various Agatha Christie short stories published through the 1920s. These were subsequently collected and published for the first time in The Mysterious Mr. Quin in 1930. In her autobiography, Agatha Christie listed the Harley Quin stories as her favorites. The collection, The Mysterious Mr. Quin, is dedicated by the author to Harley Quin the Invisible, which makes it unique as no other Christie book is dedicated to a character. Outside of this collection, Quin appeared in two other short stories, The Love Detectives and The Harley Quin Tea Set, which were both included in the 1992 UK collection Problem at Polensa Bay. The former story appeared in the earlier 1950 collection Three Blind Mice and Other Stories, and the latter as the title story in the 1997 collection The Harley Quin Tea Set. Christie also refers to the Harley Quin character in the Mask from Italy's sequence of poems in her 1925 collection The Road of Dreams, reprinted in 1973 in Poems. And in her first ever published magazine short story, The Affair at the Victory Ball in 1923, published in book form in the US collection The Underdog and Other Stories in 1951, and in the UK in Poirot's Early Cases in 1974. The 1928 silent movie, The Passing of Mr. Quin, which starred Stuart Rome, was loosely based on the short story, The Coming of Mr. Quin. The character, called Mr. Quin in the movie, is essentially a completely different person. Christie was never really satisfied with the portrayal of her character, and no other screen adaptations have since been made. Hugh Fraser, known for his role as Hastings in the Poirot TV series, voiced the audiobook of The Mysterious Mr. Quin in 2006. And a selection of these stories were performed by Martin Jarvis for BBC Radio 4 between 2009 and 2011. In 2015, a brand new digital drama, Mr. Quin, was created based on Agatha Christie's characters Quin and Satterthwaite. This contemporary adaptation was based on the first story in the Mysterious Mr. Quin's short story collection. It was first available as an app and featured Gethin Anthony, Aquarius in Game of Thrones, as Mr. Satterthwaite. Thank you for watching. See you again next time.